Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching India Tonight with me, Samita Karir, and my colleague Ashish Parekh. Both of us are joining you live from our Delhi studios. And tonight on the show, we put our focus on what's happening at Tesla. Well, in a historic vote, Tesla shareholders have overwhelmingly approved a groundbreaking compensation package for CEO Elon Musk, potentially worth up to $1 trillion in stock over the next decade, the largest in corporate history. And the plan, which ties payouts to ambitious milestones like boosting Tesla's market cap from $1.5 trillion to $8.5 trillion and delivering 20 million vehicles annually and launching 1 million robotaxis and humanoid robots, passed with over 75% support at today's annual meeting in Austin. So that's going to be a big story, Ashish, that we're going to be focusing on the show tonight.
Absolutely. In fact, Sumita, what's interesting is that Elon Musk is already the world's richest person with a net worth exceeding $470 billion. In fact, he's hailed the decision as a vote of confidence in Tesla's pivot to AI and robotics, though critics are now warning of shareholder dilution and also unchecked executive power. That's a major concern that we are seeing across the board, not just in terms of Tesla, but also the outlook when it comes to the global tech industry. In fact, but that doesn't look like it is reflecting as far as the markets are concerned. Tesla shares have also risen 3% in after-hours trading. However, what lies ahead is the massive package for Elon Musk, solely focused on ensuring that he stays at Tesla. We'll, of course, be discussing this in detail, getting us more insights. So joining us right now is Santosh Rao, who's the head of research and partner at Manhattan Venture Partners. Santosh, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. It's, of course, a massive news that's coming in, a big news as far as Elon Musk is concerned. But all of that hinges on one possibility, and that is Tesla hitting its $8.5 trillion valuation. Now, the big question is, Tesla, from current valuation of $1.5 trillion, how do they go to $8.5 trillion by 2035? Because that means that they will require a jump of 466% in just the 10 years. And that would mean that Tesla will be worth more than Nvidia, which is right now $5 trillion, and Microsoft, $3.8 trillion. Both of these companies, the biggest companies in the world combined, do you think Tesla has that sort of a potential? Because in the past, we've seen Elon Musk set very ambitious targets. Rarely does he meet them. Given slowing EV demand and also falling profits, is it something that Tesla can actually pull off?
Yeah, good morning. Well, this is a stretch target, more than a stretch target. It's a moonshot target. But, you know, betting everything about Tesla, about Elon Musk has been moonshot, and he meets them. The previous target of 56 billion, I mean, the pay package was, I mean, he met all the tranches of that. So now looking ahead 10 years. So it's a bet on his vision. He's a generational CEO. Yes, it looks totally unbelievable. Everyone, even when he was promised 56 billion, no one believed on whatever promises he made at that point. It'll get there. This time it sounds more unbelievable because there are talks about EVs slowing down, but that's cyclical. It'll get pulled back, and he believes he wants to be the generational leader in AI, and he's doing that. So now, really, it's really tough to say definitively that he can hit it. But if anyone can, it's him. And so I think we have to bet on him. It's a bet on him staying there, and Tesla needs him to stay to get there anyway. So it's both. You keep him there, hit those targets, moonshot targets, and if he doesn't get paid that. But he thinks he can do it. So hey, the shareholders have approved it. There is alignment with the shareholders. So I think he has the full wind behind him. So he's going all in now.
Right. Right, Mr. Rao, so that's essentially your view, and you are quite optimistic about the fact that this target could be met by nobody else but Elon Musk. But let me take that point across to Mr. Josh Corin, who's also joining us on the broadcast. He's the CIO of Musketeer Capital Partner. Thank you very much, Mr. Corin, for taking the time out. I want to understand from you, you also heard what Mr. Rao was essentially stating about this target, but what gives shareholders the confidence that these operational targets will be met by the company in an era that's dominated by not just robotics, but AI as well? And of course, Tesla, as my colleague Ashish was also mentioning, it is facing sales pressure. It is also facing regulatory hurdles.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me back on the show. Always really appreciate it. And this is such an interesting topic. So we are very positive on what Tesla put out in terms of alignment between Elon Musk and the stock price value. So first of all, just kind of taking a step back, anytime a company has a shareholder scheme where their CEO is getting compensation based on the stock price, shareholders really feel like they have alignment. And I think that that's just really important. And it's something that, anyone who owns Tesla right now is thinking to themselves, wow, the stock is already a multi-trillion-dollar company. It's up a lot. How much further does it have to go? But Elon aligning his pay with further stock performance like that gives shareholders the confidence that, hey, the management team themselves doesn't think that we're at any sort of a peak or at any sort of a top. So we think that it's a great thing. And, like you just said, if anyone could hit it, it would be him. Now, what you mentioned about Tesla in terms of like slowing sales pressure on EVs. See, Tesla really is so much more than that. And that's what I think that the share-based compensation is really outlining for the future. The driver for Tesla going forward is not necessarily just EVs. It's so much more with regard to use cases for generative AI, namely humanoids, right? So you have humanoids, which right now is a small budding business, but could turn into a massive business and adds massive efficiency across industrialized factory floors across the world. And this is something that could itself be a multi-trillion-dollar company. That's in addition to Grok, which is folded into, the whole Elon Musk ecosystem and ultimately could end up, having a benefit to Tesla with some sort of an integration that helps with the monetization of Tesla from an advertising perspective. Kind of like what we saw with Meta, how Meta used its own AI to help itself monetize its ad revenue and then the stock tripled. Well, Elon owns Grok. Grok could ultimately be used to monetize Twitter's advertising base, which ultimately could really lift the revenue profile of Twitter. So across Elon Musk ecosystem, he has so much value that he could create. There's so much AI potential that could then be layered into Tesla. So we think that, this is a way of the company really saying to the market, hey, the best is yet to come. And the top management team of the company believes that, and we're aligned with shareholders. So we think it is a great thing.
Absolutely. In fact, Josh, it's hard to disagree with you. The fact that Tesla is now more than just its vehicles. You, of course, mentioned that, that there's a lot more driving the company forward besides just Elon Musk and also, the vehicles that they have. But the big question, of course, is that can robotaxis and AI really rescue Tesla's fundamentals? Or again, is this yet another hype cycle? We'll, of course, get, to more of that. But Santosh, the big question, of course, is the kind of message that this is sending to the employees of Tesla. Now, Elon Musk's pay package basically sets aside 3.5 times more shares for him alone than all the other employees combined. Now, Elon Musk time and again has stressed on how important the R&D is. He's also mentioned how important the engineers and designers are to the growth of the company. He himself, in a way, if you look at it, is not a full-time employee. He has multiple things that he's juggling. Do you not feel that this is, in a way, an insult by comparison for all those people who are working in and day out to make sure that Tesla is up there, right up there as one of the biggest companies, and then they look at the kind of pay packages offered, and one man who's not even there all the time is taking away hundreds and thousands of dollars more than them? Do you think this is not sending across the wrong message that one man is dictating what happens in the company and eventually is taking away most of the pie?
Well, I think that I think that is true, right? I think one man really is dictating a lot of what's happening in the company, and I think that from a shareholder perspective, it's just the fact is that, Elon is the one who owns the ecosystem. So Elon is the one who is really creating the majority of the value. I think that, as you move down into the other employees, there's definitely plenty of opportunity for other employees to generate wealth, as well. But given the fact that Elon is the one who owns the AI LLM engine and who owns a lot of the things that are going to drive this monetization, it makes sense, that his visionary is rewarded. So, I think that there's definitely some disproportionality, but I don't think that it's like wildly inappropriate.
Right. Let me come to you, Mr. Rao. Mr. Koren has, of course, made that point about, how this is attainable and this is viable. But, if this happens, this also essentially means that power is getting concentrated with one person. He's not best for known for being consistent. So isn't that a risky bet for the company and its investors included? What are some of the checks and balances that can be put in place to protect investor and shareholder interest?
Well, first of all, I disagree with the earlier statement made that he's never there. He's always there. I mean, Elon Musk is at the center of this whole ecosystem that he has built. And you forgot SpaceX. That's also another booming business that he runs, that he started. So I think it's all of them are doing very well, and there are secular wins behind them. Humanoid robotics with the labor shortages and the health hazards and all that. Humanoid robotics are going to be a huge part of this whole thing. So all these businesses have good tailwind behind them, good secular tailwind behind them. So that aside, I think in terms of power in his hands, so I think first of all, I think the company is very glad that he has decided not to get into the political sphere. So that's a great thing. So he's going to be there full time. So that's good. But then they realize that his vision and what else he can come up with, only he can do it. And that needs to be paid. You don't get that for a cheap dime. You have to really pay for it. And the employees are happy. They're getting rich also. So I don't think they mind doing all this, because in the end, they benefit also. When he benefits, they benefit also. So I think the question of concentration or domination, that's fine. It's fine with him. There are some CEOs that don't deserve that respect, but in his case, he deserves every ounce of it because he delivers on it, and everybody is getting rich with him. So that question, I don't think, is really valid when it comes to Tesla and Elon Musk.
Mr. Rao, a quick follow-up question there. I totally understand and welcome the difference in opinion. But the reality is, now you say that, of course, the shareholders are very happy with Elon Musk and they want this personality cult to continue. But the big question is, there were reports. I mean, yes, on paper, 75% of the shareholders have agreed to the new pay package. But the reality is, there were reports that were coming in that it's either Elon Musk staying in the company and getting the pay package that he wants, or Elon Musk quitting. Do you not think this was some sort of a blackmail? Because this is something you were mentioning, you were talking about the $55 billion package earlier as well. There were reports that came around during that time as well. And even now we had reports that Elon Musk was, indirectly threatening the shareholders that, well, if you want to continue with me, if you want my star power, then, well, give me what I want. So do you think all of this support that you're looking at, the 75%, it is all out of compulsion, or do you think people are actually happy with Elon Musk and they really think he's going to do what he promises?
Both. I think there is some compulsion. They don't want him to go. We saw what happened when he went into the political area and tried to align with Trump and all his policies and all that. So there was a severe backlash. So he saw that and he pulled back. So I think he's going to continue. They need him there. Don't get me wrong. He absolutely needs to be there. His vision, his whole idea of where this whole thing should go. He was the first one who really commercialized this AI, so to speak, and he's doing it very well. He has Grok and all the other, like the other panelists said, he has so many other things going on there that all kind of feed into this whole ecosystem and driving this whole thing forward. But he's at the center of it. Yes, there are going to be skeptics, always. 25% skeptics, that's good. It kind of keeps him honest a little bit. But 75% are with him. They want him to succeed. They've seen what happens when he's not around. They need his vision. And to get to that target, you need someone who's thinking way out of the box, way out of the box, and thinks that he can achieve that. No one can even imagine hitting that, but he's the one who can do it. And I'm sure, knowing him, betting against him has not worked for anybody. And I'm sure it's not going to work again. So I think he's going to hit it. I am with him, going by his past record, and it'll be good.
But right. Mr. Rao, now both of you essentially have held the opinion that he's the right man, given the fact that he's the face of these businesses, he's a disruptor. And of course, we have to also bear in mind that in 2018, Musk's pay package was challenged by a single shareholder who actually won that case as well. So my question to you, Mr. Koren, is this case legally tenable? While both of you may say that, yes, he is the right man, and of course, if not Elon Musk, then who, given the fact that he's been a disruptor of sorts? But let's also understand that he's also also made mistakes. And which is why when he entered into active politics, he had to sort of, quit that path. And of course, we've seen what happened with X as well. Is this case going to be legally tenable is the question, Mr. Koren, if you could answer.
Right. Well, first of all, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't have the exact answer. But what I would say is that from a shareholder perspective, I think the fact that Elon Musk pay package is aligned with extraordinary shareholder returns, in my opinion, is what would make it legally tenable. I think that if you just came out with a situation where Elon Musk ended up with, millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of shares, kind of for nothing, then maybe shareholders could come back and sue and say, hey, this is too much. But I think that if they hit the milestones on stock valuation that are laid out in this pay package, I really don't think that anybody is going to have a problem with Elon Musk getting paid because shareholders are going to be extremely happy. So I think the fact that they tied the extraordinary pay package with extraordinary shareholder returns is what, in my opinion, makes it legally tenable. And as a shareholder, that's something that I would be okay with.
A quick follow-up question there, Josh, because one of the things that we're talking about here is the fact that Elon Musk is someone who sets very ambitious targets and meets them. In 2012, if you remember, he sold everyone the Hyperloop dream, and it's 2025 now. Everyone knows where exactly it is. And today, again, a lot of this growth that he's promising is in terms of technology that hasn't been tried and tested. It is something that is still in the experimental stage. We have seen how AI has grown year on year. So a lot of this hinges on promises. A lot of these hinges on fantasies than actual products that are there on the ground. You talk about robotaxis, you talk about humanoid robots that Elon Musk speaks about, or even Neuralink. Not a lot of these products that Elon Musk is hinging his hopes on are out there commercially available and are being consumed at a large scale. So do you think this whole promise that Elon Musk is making is somehow based on a bubble and it could bust anytime?
No, not at all. I mean, listen, I think that, the definition of visionary technology is that it's not there yet, right? So, that's what Elon Musk does. And of course, you have to look to the future. Now, when you mention hyperlink, of course, some things are not going to work. Some things are going to work. And someone like Elon Musk, with the balance sheet that he has, needs to have the latitude, right, to be able to try certain things and make certain things work. And some are going to have failures. So we don't hold that against him. But if you think about Tesla, it's a company that has a tremendous balance sheet. His ecosystem across Tesla and X, and SpaceX, has a tremendous amount of capital and access to incremental capital in the capital markets, don't forget. And they have so many consumer touch points. And the consumer touch points are the thing that really makes AI powerful. So given the fact that they have so many consumer touch points and they collect so much data on the consumer, both on what the users are saying and the user's intention is via X, where the users are going via Tesla data that gets collected, right? SpaceX is associated with the government. All of these touch points can then be used in conjunction with AI Grok to both enhance their monetization and enhance Grok. And when you give an LLM like Grok more and more of this data, it develops itself, and then therefore you could create new AI products from Grok. So he has the synergistic flywheel ecosystem of network effect such that he really can create next level technology. And it makes sense then that, a lot of this is tied to that. Now, if it doesn't work, he simply just doesn't get that pay package, right? So that's what we like about the pay package, is that there's an incentive to it. And again, if he gets the pay package, I think all shareholders are going to be very happy and the technology will have worked. There isn't a scenario where he could try all this technology, it doesn't work, and that he still gets paid. And I think that that's the key point to make here.
Right, Mr. Koren, let me come to you, Mr. Rao, for one final question, and that essentially is about the delivery of these promises. What will take Elon Musk to deliver on these promises to sort of, get the kind of pay package that has been approved by at least a majority of these shareholders? If you could put that into perspective, we've talked about, the possibility of success of these businesses and, of course, how he's been a disruptor. And, of course, we also just heard Mr. Koren speak about that. But in terms of sheer numbers, if you could put those numbers into perspective for our viewers in terms of what will it take for Elon Musk to deliver on these promises?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is going to be his undivided attention. It was scattered for a while. He was unhappy with a lot of things. I think he wants a bigger voting rights and all that. So I think he needs to be happy, and he will get that. Now, stay focused in this whole package and just do what he continues to do. Imagine things out of the box and try to deliver, and he will do it. Now he has a whole infrastructure behind it to kind of do that. In the past, it looked like, EVs impossible, everything impossible, but now he has a good ecosystem around it, infrastructure around it. He can build on that, whether it's Grok, whether it's the batteries, whether it's the humanoid robotics. Now it's all about building, 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 but that needs focus, and he will do that. He will he'll hire the best people. He will continue to do that because he has a definite milestones to hit. And that's the beauty of this whole package is based on him hitting, and if he hits that, the whole world is going to be a different place. Humanoid robots, so many EVs out there, and all the different things, the FSDs and all that in the cars. The whole world is going to be a different place at that point, and everybody will be happy. So there might be a case of maybe he's underpaid for what he's done. So I mean, that's imaginable. At this point, it doesn't look like it's possible, but with him, he makes you think the unimaginable. So it's a stretch, more than a stretch. It's a moonshot square, but he can do it. If he can, and he's the only one who can do it. So I'm confident he will. Following him right from the beginning,
Absolutely.
I've been a big fan of this, so I think he'll do it. Stay focused. That's the key.
Absolutely. In fact, Elon Musk is known to do things that are unimaginable. Like, for example, we don't really often have both our guests on the panel agreeing on the same thing. And I think both of you are in the same boat as far as that's concerned. I think the bigger question is not whether Elon Musk can deliver, but the bigger promise is, can he do it under the timeline and the deadline that he's setting? He promised us that humans will land on Mars by 2024. That's not happened. We are in 2025 now. He promises that Teslas will be fully self-controlled by 2020. That's not happened. He promises that there would be 1 million robotaxis out on the streets in 2020. It's 2025. That's not happened. So I think the question is not about the vision that Elon Musk has. The question is about whether he can deliver and whether the shareholders are also being taken for a ride, like he promises to do us to Mars as well. We will continue to, of course, ask these questions, and we'll, of course, continue to see how Tesla performs over the next decade or so. It's going to be very important, not just for us, for also the shareholders as well. And viewers, with that, it's time for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.